What is going on, people? Now, we recently migrated, and SSQ family also came by, and a couple of other ones as well. So this kingdom blew up in a hurry. Now, there is this one guy, 69 beat rock, that was just above 3.3 billion might when this thing started. So we saw that a couple of rallies hit, and we were like, oh, okay, well, we want to get in on that. So we ported over and started a rally, and noticed that he had a range front. So with a guy this size, like, you need to send all infantry if you want to have any sort of hope, because he can easily have 30 million troops in as a front line for range, maybe even more, who knows. We didn't know exactly what he had, so we just know that infantry rallies were going to be the way to go. So we decided to go ahead and join in on the fun. And when you do this, a lot of times what you have to do is you kind of have to line up a bunch of bunnies. Either that, or you fill his prison with alts and things like that. That way your best leads can just continuously rally. The only downside to that is if he does come online, then you pretty much you lost 30 leaders. The good news is that if they're just alts, it doesn't really make too big of a difference. But just two schools of thoughts generally, like if you have the alts to do it, then you can do it that way, or if you have the means, just pretty much just bunny it up. So our first bunny was going to be Omega here, and he's also going to be going infantry because, like I said, this guy's going to have a bunch of range in the front. And in a kingdom like this, see, what happens in a kingdom like this is that if one rally hits and it does good damage, and then a second one hits and does good damage, then everybody in the kingdom is going to be like, hold up, where is this happening? And everybody and their mama is just going to come in and start porting and rallying at the same time. So they started with SQ1 and SSQ, then followed by us, and then after that, pretty much everybody else started to join in. So after our first rally started, I went ahead and set my my infantry rally as well. And here's what the plan was, at least in my mind, right? I'm going to go ahead, set my infantry rally. The unfortunate thing is I'm not really jeweled for blast. A lot of my infantry pieces have mixed jewels in them, so I'm probably missing a good 50 to 60% infantry attack. But it is what it is. I'm not going to jewel just for this one hit. And the other really important thing was that I should use my bunny, which I had one ready to go, so I didn't have to make one or anything like that. I had one ready to go. Well, things didn't really go the way that I planned, and you'll see exactly why here in a second. Now, we went ahead and filled, no problem. That's cool, and now we're just waiting on this timer to count down. Also, a lot of times, if you're a lead, you have to be careful of splitting people, because let's say you split X so that Y joins, but then when you split X, Z joins, and then it's a lot. So that's a lot of times something that leads have to go through when you split somebody to join somebody else, but somebody else joins. Oh, it's just so much to keep track of. And I say that to say this: sometimes as a lead you can get distracted and forget some things, right? So this is why it happened. Okay, now my rally's about to launch here in about a minute, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be the first one to go because there's a couple of that set right before me. So here's the first one that was going in, SSQ, Xanxes, and then SQ1 from the top as well. Again, everybody's going infantry because that's what we need. So we got Xanxes and Kriff. I don't really know why Kriff's rally is walking like a turtle. It had to be that they had like T5 Siege in there, because there's no way a rally walks that slow. Like, I know it's an infantry rally, but there's no way it walks that slow unless there's like a T5 infantry or a T5 siege. There's just no way. Because look at his movement speed. Compare it to mine when it launches. It's like night and day. So he must have like 100% had to have T5 siege in there, because goodness gracious, even in speed gear it wouldn't make that big a difference. But either way, their rally hits just as ours is walking. And here's what happens here, right? Their rally hits, I check, and then I hit this, and I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and hit my army attack boost. And I thought, in my mind, I thought that I had hit the bunny, right? As you can clearly see, I have yet to use the bunny, but in my mind I had. In my mind, I had already used the bunny, and then I check and I'm like, oh no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Listen. If I had to forget something, at least let it be that. You know, like, okay, at least I put my gear on. At least I have my talents on. At least I hit in the right phalanx. Like, at least I did all that. So if I was to forget something, let it be my bunny. But it's just, it is what it is. But you know what's funny? Somebody in the guild actually did say after this happened, they said, don't worry about it. He's gonna shield anyways if he comes online. And I was thinking, well, I mean, if you're 3 billion might, like, even if you do have some rallies on you, I mean, I would just take it, you know? It is what it is. So our next bunny was going to be Spartan, or I'm sorry, the Spartan. And we pretty much had like 5 more bunnies lined up after us. Or after Spartan, so we were good in that instance, and I'm sure that they weren't gonna make the same mistake that I did and just completely forget the damn bunny. So Spartan went ahead and hit, and it looks like we're actually past T2 now. I don't know if we started hitting T3 because he's still decently thick. I mean, he's still 2.8 billion, but it seems like when you take a look at the rallies, we start getting into higher than just T2. So I'm thinking that this guy is this thick just because he had a bunch of T3 that he shouldn't have had. So that's probably what happened. And as Nas Roy starts walking in with his, I think this is Nas's first rally. And they're walking in, and watch this. Of course, the shield. The shield! Now I get my hero back, which is great. But like, bro, you're still like 2.8 billion might. Like, if you came online, why don't you just switch gear? And I don't know. But either way, clearly, I honestly think that what ended up happening was that we got to T3 and not necessarily T4 because the might drops were just too big considering the losses. There was no way. So this is just an FYI, right? If you're newer to the game, etc., it's okay to have T3 if you have yet to unlock T4. But once you unlock T4, try to get rid of your T3 as quickly as possible. Just T2, T4, T5 if you have it. That should be what your composition is like. Get rid of T3 however you can. Hell, even dismiss them if you can. Because T3 is just bad. It's not great for defense. You're not really going to use it for offense. It's just going to make you look fat for no reason. But yeah, I mean, it was fun. We try to go for it. I'm going to go ahead and show you all the hits. And as you can tell, look at the might drop compared to the losses. And we definitely, I think this was T3. I honestly think it was T3. But either way, it was. I think he started at around 3.4 billion might, and then we took out about 600 million. So could have been better if he didn't come online, but you know, it is what it is. But this kingdom's gotten pretty fun. We actually had a WoW not long after this, so I'll be showing you guys that next. But until later, bye.